kind of a surprise, Dwayne. We had expected to see Felipe Hernandez and Coach Johan Aarnio's alternating goalkeeper system, but Tony having a great year so far. So Johan going back with him today as he was in the net against New York last Friday. Arturo Velasco and Jimmy Banks will start on the back line. And then up front, you've got Rene Ortiz, Dean Kelly, and George Pastor. And for New York, Jim St. Andre, really a pretty nice-looking young goalkeeper in the nets. He has not had a lot of support this year. His statistics rather deceiving, a 1 in 10 mark, and a points against average are rather astronomical, 13.25. But again, he is
not getting a lot of help.
A lot of shots back there, that's for sure. And the rest of the lineup, Neil Ridgway will start up front along with Lee Chantret and Bill Betcher, Marhan Maksudi, and F.J. Zwickelbauer on the back line. And now let's go down to Jeff Lippman of Vic Tanny for the pregame presentation.
My niece, with Laura, with the support of 2 of her friends, will be kicking out the game ball. Well, let's hear it for another wave wipeout. Thank you.
Was quite a high school football player. I remember seeing him play at Cudahy High, and looks like he's staying in pretty good shape, I guess, as you would expect, being an executive with the Vic Tanny Club.
Yeah, looks like he could go out there and compete today, couldn't he?
Sure does. New York in the traveling blue uniforms will take the kickoff, and they'll be moving it right to left. There are today's officials. Steve Konstantinovic is the senior official. Gary Baker will be the other official on the field. And Bob Gutowski in the box. I know that Ahmed Ode was supposed to be the other official on the field today, Steve. We'll have to double check and see if he is indeed on his way. But at any rate, we are underway, the wave controlling. As they move it left to right as you face the action, there's a drive by Jimmy Banks that's turned away by St. Andre. So the wave will take it on the corner kick. Dean Kelly starting to do the honors, and I believe that is O'Day right there, the official standing next to Dean Kelly. As we take a look at St. Andre in between the pipes there, you can see the official Ahmed O'Day. So I believe that is O'Day. He has arrived on the scene, and he and Steve Konstantinovic will be our 2 officials as assigned by the NPSL. Crowd still filing in here to the Bradley Center for our holiday matinee. Although not a holiday for everybody, Dwayne, heck, we're working.
That's exactly right, Thomas. And to those of you who may be at work watching this one, we're glad to have you with us.
Ortiz trying to go to Pastor. Georgie will back it up for Jimmy Banks. Jimmy's going to launch the 3. Doesn't find the mark. Bill Betcher touching it back to Maksudi, but the wave keeping it in the zone. That was Ortiz having his shot blocked. And Neil Ridgway clearing downfield. Velasco in a race with Chantret. And Arturo wins the battle and turns it around. Now the kick regaining possession as Wickelbauer pushes it up to Chantret. And Tony Pierce able to scoop it up. For those of you who may not be familiar with the scoring system in the NPSL, a regular or natural goal is worth 2 points. If you put one behind the line, that yellow line in each of the attacking zones 50 feet out, that would be worth 3. And then power play goals or shootouts would be worth 1 point each. That's how the scoring goes. Lee Rogers trying to work his way through some traffic on the baseline and unable to do anything there as St. Andre picks it up. Chris Charles for the kick. As the pass broken up by Bartro. Now Salguero, the player coach, trying to go away from Tima, but Bartro right there to run him off the play. Interesting note about Bartro, Dwayne, he came to the wave initially as a forward, but after a couple of injuries in the preseason, moved to the back line, and he has played very well there for Johan Aarnio, and despite the fact he's playing back there, has not lost a scoring touch. He still leads the team in scoring coming into today's game.
That's the thing Johan Aarnio has tried to develop, or has more or less had to with some of these guys, and that's put them out of their normal positions for positions that they had been playing in years past, and he's been quite pleased, very pleased with the way they've responded. I guess Tim would be #1 in that area, being asked to do something different and yet continue to contribute.
Now a possible 2-on-1 for New York if they hurry. Charles and Salguero Charles elects to take the shot as New York retains possession. Here's Sadri Jeanbalai, one of the exciting rookies on this New York team. He was a #1 draft choice in the Major Soccer League back in 1988, but never did sign with the MSL. So technically still a rookie. Keith Falk with the takeaway. Keith able to work his way in. He's got Pastor on the left, and the cross to George just beyond his foot. Nice work by Keith Falk to work the play that time. Probably the best scoring opportunity anybody's had so far. 3 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Still no score here from the Bradley Center. Kelly, the team captain, to Ortiz, and a goal! And Milwaukee jumps out on top 2-0.
Well executed by the Milwaukee Wave. Johan Aarnio has talked in recent games about his team being able to move forward in control, and we'll get a look at it here on the replay. Coming off the glass, and bang! Ortiz able to go with the left foot and kick it to the left of St. Andre of the New York goal, and the Wave out in front 2-0.
And that's #7 on the year for Rene, the 21-year-old rookie from Anaheim, California. He is really going to be a player before his career is finished, a guy the fans are really going to enjoy seeing play. And what a pass by Kelly. Now Surrey to Diego Mandagaran, can't do it. Surrey with the follow, and he hits it underneath the crossbar. Oh man, Mo Surrey could see the light going on that time, but it just wouldn't get in there for him.
Tell you what, if pressure continues to be put on St. Andre as the Wave presently putting it on, it's going to be a long afternoon for Jim St. Andre in the kick.
He certainly has seen this on more than one occasion so far this year. And actually in the first half of the game on Friday, Milwaukee did have several opportunities. St. Andre did a nice job to keep the score at 7-7 as it was at the time, and eventually in the second half, the Wave controlling the ball for probably 3/4 of the time, Dwayne, and eventually just wore him down in there. But he does have some pretty good reactions in there, and I think if somehow they can build a defense around him, he's going to turn out to be a pretty respectable goalkeeper.
He can only do so much. I mean, he has to have some help out in front of him. You can only ask so much out of any goaltender. It doesn't matter how good they really are. I mean, you get enough shots fired at you, sooner or later some are going to get through.
Here's a 3-2 for the Wave. Kelly with Rogers and Pastor. Kelly's going to take the shot. Can't connect. What a feed from Rogers! And as Pastor tried to jam it in, St. Andre covered up. Boy, Lee Rogers with a nice touch back to the middle. Take a look at it right here as you see Lee with the left-footed cross to Pastor. Just a little bit tight, and St. Andre doing a good job to cover up. Tripping foul called against Mo Surrey, so they will restart just off the corner. Neil Ridgway to put in play for the kick to Jeanbalai, and he rips one through. And I don't know, Dwayne, if Tony Pierce got a good look at it. Looked like he may have been screened on the play. Jeanbalai with that booming right foot shot just inside the line, and he has tied it up at 2 apiece.
I think you're right, Tom. I don't think Tony caught that right off the foot of Jeanbalai, and I think when he finally realized where the ball was, it was already over the top of his head and behind him.
Sadri Jeanbalai, the second leading scorer on the New York team.
And it's a three-pointer, and it's a 3-2 New York lead over the Wave.
So it was a 3. Boy, I thought he was just inside the line there, but it will be a 3. And Sadri registers his first 3 of the season. That's the second one for the New York team.
Well, the opening period has been the Kicks' best throughout the season, where they've scored a total of 22 points while giving up 33. As the game has gone on, they have been outscored considerably by the opposition.
Tim Bartro launching one into the stands as each. All right, let's see if we can get a replay again on that last goal. Now let's see where Jeanbalai hit it. He was inside the line. That should have only been 2. But again, that's a tough call for the officials because it happened so quickly that a lot of times they're not able to quite get a bearing on that. You'll see that every once in a while, too, in college and pro ball, basketball.
Exactly. I think Bill Besher, his teammate, had a lot to do with convincing them that was a three-pointer.
So it is a 3-2 New York advantage. Just over 5 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. The game of professional indoor soccer for 15-minute quarters. Rene Ortiz handling it now for the Wave. Rene got the Wave on the board first with his goal. And now Dave Catano trying to come down to Salguero. Tony Pierce coming way out to knock it away. Tony, a very active keeper. He'll come away from that net to make the plays if he has to. Excellent foot skills. Very, very solid goalkeeper. Joey Kirk getting tripped down by Chris Charles. Joey's really been a pleasant addition for the Wave since being signed in the first month of the season. He's only played 5 games for Milwaukee, but he is currently tied for 5th in scoring with 17 points. Tim Tima's drive taken by St. Andre.
Well, Joey had 3 goals against New York the other night.
Yep, sure did. And he really has been some instant production since coming over. He started the year with Wichita in the Major Soccer League, where he played last season. Diego Mandagaran battling with Bill Betcher, and the foul called against Diego. Diego made his debut for the Wave Friday in New York and had a couple of assists. Here's a good opportunity and a shot and a goal as F.J. Zwickelbauer puts it past Pierce. So just like that, New York all of a sudden now with a 3-point lead on the goal by Zwickelbauer at 6:31.
Set up very nicely also. Get another look at it here.
Not much of a chance for Tony Pierce to turn that one away. The assist will go to Neil Ridgway.
5 unanswered for the kick in terms of points. 3-point goal and the 2-pointer. 5-2 advantage.
So Zwickelbauer gets his 3rd 2-pointer of the year. Been pretty productive for a defender. He's got 11 points so far this year. And Milwaukee obviously gonna get a game from the New York kick today, it looks like. Pastor trying to run by, but the play broken up. And Tony Pierce able to snatch it up. I believe, I was going to say, I thought that was Franco Paonessa wearing number 8. We haven't listed as number 6. We'll have to double check on that. Paonessa just signed by New York last week. In fact, he made his debut against the Wave Friday and had 3 goals. Banks from Velasco, and a nice defensive play to break it up. Jimmy was coming in. Now New York starts it back. It's a 3-2 if they hurry. Catano launching the long shot, and Tony Pierce able to turn it away. All right, we're going to take a break. 7:22 left to go in the first quarter. It's New York 5, Milwaukee 2. Back after this on Super 18.
Who comes to mind when you think of a strong, innovative bank serving over 5 million customers here and across the country?
Day's your last chance. Half the store, half price. The other half, no payment half a year during the big one of 1991, the annual New Year's Day event at Calder's.
Bigfoot is a noble giant who sees but is not seen. Legend says he now walks with a distant tribe, the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons, a new comedy of enormous proportions.
Sundays at 4 starting January 13th.
Back at the Bradley Center there, you see the score with 7:22 left to go in the first quarter. And the New York kick coming back with 5 straight points after the Wave jumped out to a 2-0 lead on the goal by Ortiz at 3:04. Nice block by Mandagaran on the shot by Maksudi. Chantrit now trying to work it away from Velasco. Arturo doing a good job to knock it away. Now Banks trying to run it out for Diego. And as Diego pushes it up in front, he's knocked down. The foul called.
It's fun to watch Arturo Velasco. He's a guy who really shadows the opposition, really hounds him, really does a great job defending.
And he's also a pretty aggressive player offensively. He'll really take it to you, Dwayne, if you give him a chance to take the dribble and move around. Very complete player, though, and certainly been a great addition to this Wave team.
I think he's another guy that the U.S. national team has some interest in once this indoor season is over with.
Speaking of U.S. national team members, there's one right there,
That's
Jimmy
exactly
Banks.
Right.
Jimmy will be leaving the Wave next week to go to the training camp for the U.S. national team down in Orlando. So his participation with the Wave will probably be sporadic at best for the rest of the season as the national team starts to gear up for its 91 season. But at least we've got him for now. Catano trying to race by everybody, had it knocked away. Now they keep it in as a shot taken by Anton Kamai just off the post. Well, the Wave really not looking too organized at this juncture of the contest. And now Chris Charles will get called for a foul against Joey Kirk. Seems like Dwayne, after New York got that three-pointer from Jambala, it really turned the momentum around. Milwaukee just has not been able to recapture it.
No, I'll tell you, the opening 3.5 minutes of this game started truly all in the momentum with the Wave going at St. Andre and putting the pressure on. And as you said, after that three-point goal, it's been going in the way of the New York kick, and they've been establishing the pressure and making Tony Pierce, making him rather busy in the Milwaukee game.
Surrey trying to get around Charles, able to do so. Now Kelly for Pastor, tripped up in the middle. And let's see if that is a penalty. It would be a penalty kick, but I believe, yeah, he's fouled in the box. That's a penalty kick. It's going to be a 2-point penalty kick opportunity coming up for the Wave. And that's our first penalty of the contest. Whenever you foul somebody in the box, you've got to give them the penalty kick, and clearly that's what happened, Dwayne. A good call by the officials.
Absolutely. That's not being agreed by or welcomed at all by the New York kick. And we'll get another look at it as Kamai was arguing his case, and you can see there Pastor kind of getting wrapped up in the legs of the New York kick player and then going down. I think it's saying more accidental and maybe more of an acting job on the part of George Pastor.
Now, there's no doubt about it. Georgie has been manhandled quite a bit in the middle this year, and I think he's probably picked up a few credits, perhaps.
You have to do a little extra when you're getting picked on a little bit more.
Okay, here's the situation now. The kick is going to have to send somebody to the penalty box. If Pastor misses the penalty kick from the spot 24 feet out, then Milwaukee would go on the power play. Obviously, if he makes it, that wipes out the penalty, and we're back to full strength. And I thought it was Kamai, as you mentioned, Dwayne, who committed the foul in the box, but they're going to send Chris Charles over to the box. Now here comes Kamai on the near side, so they did get it squared away, and Kamai will be the man sitting in the box. There's a look at George Pastor as he prepares to boot the penalty kick. So everybody will gather around the side of the box. George on penalty kicks so far this year is 1 for 2. Second leading scorer in the team with the 25 points, and make it 27 as he turns on the light and beats St. Andre with the penalty kick effort. Second penalty kick that St. Andre has faced this year, and he has yet to stop any. Let's take another look at it, Dwayne.
Yeah, George just approaches and just blasts one to the right of St. Andre, and there was really no opportunity there. That's like facing Nolan Ryan at 50 feet, isn't it?
Very, very difficult chance. As a goalkeeper, really all you can do is just guess the right way and hope that that's where the player shoots it. 9:20, the time of the conversion, so that'll wipe out the penalty to Kemi as he comes out of there. Pastor now with 10 two-point goals, and second on the team in scoring behind Bartro with 27 points.
So that comes at a very opportune time for Johan Aarnio and the Milwaukee Wave. As you mentioned a moment ago, Tom, the Wave kind of playing out of sorts and not really in control, and needed something against the kick, and got a very big two-pointer there from George Pastor.
On the restart, Wave able to turn it around. Here's Diego in a race with Betcher. Nice cross for Surrey coming in, but he pushed it out just a little bit too far. And St. Andre able to scoop it up. Nice work by Diego, though.
Excellent.
He's helped to mix things up in there tonight, as he did in Friday's game at Glens Falls.
Well, Coach Johan Aarnio talking about Mandagaran and what he would bring in taking up some of the slack, a lot of the slack, which will be left when Jimmy Banks departs, as Tom talked about in January with the national team down in Florida. And Mandagaran great on the back end and can do a lot of things well.
He played last year with St. Louis in the MSL, so he has had some indoor experience here in the U.S., originally from Uruguay. Tima looking for some movement up front. Now comes to Rogers. Here's Lee turning with the shot, and St. Andre able to turn it away. Rogers with a follow, and St. Andre knocked that one away. Just over 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter, and it's been a very wide open first quarter so far. Milwaukee trailing by 1. Ridgway booting it back the other way, but Bartro is going to beat Chantre to it and drop it back for Pierce. Now Pastor backing it up, trying to come for Falk near side, and a save by St. Andre. Oh, beautifully executed as Pastor set up Falk coming to the near side, and St. Andre, great reactions to turn it away. Let's take a look at that one more time.
Yeah, that was a great play by James St. Andre. Oh, this is...
Get another angle in there. You really can appreciate the effort of St. Andre as Falk did it one time on the volley. And Rogers boots one up into the stands. Lee with a pretty good opportunity to shoot, and he has been one of Milwaukee's more prolific scorers this year. Lee third on the team in scoring coming into this one. That's a pretty good opportunity for him. Usually he'll put that one on target, but got under it a little bit and put it into the stands. Catano trying to go to Kemi. Tima there to knock it away. Now they turn it around. Surrey with Tima, as Surrey's going to try the shot, but it's blocked by Jumbalai up into the stands. One thing about Surrey, Dwayne, he's got that tremendous speed, and you give him even a half a step, and oftentimes he can blow right past the defender.
It's been interesting to watch now the last couple of minutes since that goal from George Pastor, how this team, the Wave, has elevated things here intensity-wise and really gotten back into control and just in the way they've been able to move downfield with it. It's been a different team. It's been a team playing in spurts. Strong start, mellow middle, and now starting to finish here with a strong close for the first quarter.
Take another look at that last play, and you'll see Ortiz tried to hit it one time in the volley, and it deflected over the glass. You know, every once in a while you'll see that ball kind of roll along the glass. Jimmy Banks was camped out at the near post, and he would have been able to put that one in had it stayed in play. But fortunately for Jim St. Andre, the New York kick, it rolled over the top out of play. Now you got to look at Ortiz's stats so far this year. Rene, not only is he just 21 years old, but he is also coming off some major knee surgery this past offseason. So once he gets to be 100%, I think you're really going to see a tremendous player for the Milwaukee Wave, as he's already shown just in the last few weeks that he really has some enormous potential. Foul called against New York, so the Wave will start it back on their own end. as Jimmy Banks, the Milwaukee native, graduate of Custer High, also played college ball at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. Working it on the back line with Velasco. Now Jimmy gets it back. Trying to go for Joey Kirk. Headed away by Zwickelbauer. Good job by Kelly to keep it for Banks. Here's Banks coming in. And the drive off the mark. Ortiz will gather it back for Velasco. Against Shantret. Now Banks holding away from Maksoudi. Quick shot and a save made by St. Andre. Pretty good move by Jimmy Banks to get that shot off. Now St. Andre throws it downfield, but Velasco heads it away. There you get another look at that shot by Banks. St. Andre had to come up with a pretty good save. Kick starting it back, Tony Medina. Far side, and Salguero with a shot, and Ridgway unable to put it in. Oh, Neil Ridgway, set up by his longtime teammate Carlos Salguero. They have played together in Toledo, Fort Wayne, and Memphis. Now here with New York. Well, I'll bet you Ridgway hasn't missed too many of those in his career, Dwayne. Jundelai will try the left foot shot. It's blocked out in the middle. Falk and Surrey trying to track it down. Jundelai trying to play it on the ground, and Surrey takes it away. Now it's 2-1 with Diego. Mandagaran trying to push it up, but Chris Charles with a good defensive play to knock it away. Here's Ridgway coming back. Pace is picked up again as we come toward the end of the first quarter with just over a minute to go. Now Ridgway trying to center off the end board, but Pierce able to scoop it up. Trying to get organized on the attack as Pastor gets it on the board. Now Bartro working against Salguero. Try to push it in the middle for Pastor. Salguero knocked it away. Now Dave Catano taking it back, but Bartro cuts him off and gets it back to Kelly. Here's Kelly trying to cross the middle for Pastor. That one behind him. Salguero just turns and clears downfield. 25 seconds left in the quarter. New York right now just trying to keep their 1-point advantage. Pastor with a turning left foot boot as he tried to chip that one in. That's a tough shot though. If he converts on that, that's probably one of the highlight shots that you use in the team film.
He converts on that one, St. Andre might leave.
So with 15 seconds left to go, it'll be a goal kick for New York. As you get a look at George Pastor on the sideline there, sitting with the rest of his teammates. Shantret with 3 seconds. He's not going to be able to get a shot off. And the horn sounds. That'll do it for the first quarter. So at the end of one from the Bradley Center, the New York kick, leading the Milwaukee Wave by the score of 5-4. We'll be back with the second period right after this. You're watching Milwaukee Wave Soccer on Super 18.
Come on down to the boat show at Mecca.
It's the big Milwaukee Boat Show at Mecca. Boats, boats, and more boats. It's Wisconsin's largest midwinter boat show, plus a great fishing show. The Milwaukee Boat Show at Mecca.
Opens Wednesday. Injuries can happen instantly, but may last a lifetime. If you've been injured in an accident, call McClario Law Offices for experienced, aggressive legal help. McClario Law Offices have represented injured people since 1953, winning top money settlements. There is no fee unless we win money for you. Call 251-4210 for a free case evaluation.
McClario Law Offices. We're in the Ameritech Pages Plus, the original Wisconsin Bell Yellow Pages.
Listen to what Michelle R. of New Berlin has to say about Homestead Security's free alarm system. She says, it seemed too good to be true, but I found no catches. Richard S. of Pewaukee says, we thought nothing is free. There had to be some fine print, but it was exactly as presented. To get your free home security system, call Homestead Security now at 873-FREE. I did. All you pay is the normal computerized monitored police response fee of $24.95 a month. Remember, you're home free with Homestead.
It's here, Alf's Galaxy of Greatest Hits.
Ebony and Ivory.
So pump up the comedy volume with Alf.
Weeknights at 6:30.
These cakes are good. There's nothing in them, you know. Nothing? Like colors, I mean. It's yellow. Well, there's no flavors. What do you mean? I like the flavor.
Kix has a corn crunch that kids like. And Kix is low in sugar with no added colors or flavors. That's what moms like.
If there's nothing in it, how come I'm so full? You did eat 2 bowls. Oh.
Kix, kid tested, mother approved.
Back at the Bradley Center, Tom went along with Dwayne Mosley. Hope you're enjoying the telecast of today's contest between the Wave and the New York Kick. There you see our score, New York. Kind of surprising, jumping out to the 5-4 lead here in the first quarter. Milwaukee actually led it 2-0 at one point, but then the Kick coming back with 5 straight, and the Wave getting a goal from Pastor and a penalty kick toward the end of the first quarter to cut that deficit. Oh, we have a chance, like to mention that this upcoming Saturday, January 5th, prior to the Waves game against the Dayton Dynamo here at the Bradley Center, it'll be SMI warm-up with the Wave. It's a pregame clinic at noon, and all kids 16 and under attending the game will be invited to a pregame clinic featuring Wave coach Johan Aarnio and some of the players. They'll be discussing proper techniques for warming up, and each person attending the clinic will receive a free Wave t-shirt, compliments of the Sports Medicine Institute, and also they'll get a food voucher for the game as well. So pretty good deal if you show up for the clinic. That'll be the SMI warm-up with the Wave starting at noon prior to the Wave game against Dayton this upcoming Saturday, January 5th.
Well, the Wave outshot the Kick 15-8 in the first quarter, and you'd like to have the lead when you have that big of advantage with shots, out shooting the opposition, but 5-4 Wave will take that as they were able to withstand a flurry and a middle period push by the Kick, trailing at 5-4.
St. Andre coming up with 9 saves in the first quarter. That's a game's worth for a lot of goalkeepers. New York on the attack, and the shot by Betcher blocked out in the middle. Ortiz to Pastor. George trying to get around Marhan Maksudi. Gets cut off, and the foul is called. Just underway here in the second quarter from the Bradley Center. Banks fakes the shot, now moves in, and the shot was off the mark. Wave controlling, though, as Kelly takes it at the center circle. Teamer for Kelly, trying to leave for Pastor on the back heel lead, but he got cut off on the play. And so New York starts it back. I mentioned St. Andre with 9 saves in the first. Tony Pierce had 3. Probably not as sharp as we've seen Tony in recent outings, but he is a very consistent goalkeeper. I'd be surprised if he does not become sharper as we go through today's game.
6-1 in his 7 starts coming into this game, and as talked about earlier, a winner over the Kick just a few nights ago, 15-9.
Tony 6th in the league overall in points against average at 10.54. And a foul called against Milwaukee as they try to work the attack. And Pierce able to take that one easily off the foot of Zwickelbauer. Now the Wave trying to beat New York back on the counter. Ortiz was looking for Kirk or Falk. The pass was behind both of those players. Velasco for Kirk. Joey's return pass short of the mark. Here comes Salguero. He's 2-on-3 with Jambalaya. Bartro able to get back to cut off Jambalaya. Crowd crowd right now just kind of sitting back in its hands, waiting for something to happen. Pace has definitely slowed up here at the outset of the second quarter. They were moving up and down the field pretty good for the first. New York playing yesterday in Chicago, so you might expect them to be perhaps a little more fatigued as the game wears on today.
I was going to say, if it gets into a slower pace, a slow-down pace, it's going to work into the advantage of the kick more so than it will to the Wave.
Wave has not played since last Friday's game against the Kick in New York. Now, Pawanessa pushed off the play by Kelly. Back they come as Rogers moves in. Lee Rogers trying to go back for Kelly, leaving for Bartro, and his bouncing shot is deflected over the glass. Oh, nice setup that time as Kelly waited for Bartro trailing on the play, but Timmy really didn't get the ball exactly how he wanted it. Kind of took a high hop on his right foot as he tried to come in and take the shot.
More off his ankle, that shot, than off his foot directly. If that baby is kissing the carpet.
So the Wave will take it on the corner kick as Keith Falk will get set to come in with it. Falk, Pastor, Bartro, Rogers, and Velasco, the attackers for the Wave right now. Rogers trying to go for the far post. Didn't get a good piece of it. Maksoudi looking downfield as he tried to go for Bill Betcher. Zwickelbauer keeping it in, and he was tripped up by Velasco. It's been a pretty clean game so far. Just the one penalty. That was New York's Anton Kamai, who got called for tripping Pastor in the box at 9:20 of the first. And George immediately proceeded to convert on the penalty kick. That was the last scoring that we've had in this contest. Still 5-4 New York. Maksoudi for three. And Velasco able to get ahead on that one and deflect it out of play. Arturo is the Wave leader in block shots. He had 28 coming into today's game. So New York putting it in from the corner. And that shot ringing by just off the post. Bartro starting it back. Got tripped down by Chantret. Tim doing a good job to shield Chantret off the ball and draw the foul in that situation. Bartro not the fastest guy in the world. He'll tell you that himself, but he's a very crafty player. Ridgway with a long boot. He was actually trying to beat Pierce back to the net that time. Tony playing up toward midfield as the Wave had it in their offensive half. And you'll see that oftentimes where a player, defensive player, when he gets the ball, will actually turn and try to just lob one back into the goal. And especially this year with the bigger goals, that's got to be a more inviting opportunity.
And none more embarrassing for a goalie. Be standing back there, standing up front, fair distance from the goal, and have the ball loft over your head and bounce in.
Arturo Velasco dribbling it up for the Wave. Now Kelly. Wave really hasn't been able to get in that quick transition game that they like to try to get into. New York has done a good job to control the pace here in the second quarter. Velasco trying to move in. Velasco still coming in, and St. Andre covers up in the box. And now Milwaukee going to get called for a dangerous play. Anytime somebody's on the turf and tries to play the ball, the officials almost always will make that call, the dangerous play call. So a good call against the Wave, as actually both Velasco and Joey Kirk were on the turf trying to play at that time. And Tima going to get called for a foul. That was actually a good foul because Pawanessa was going to come in unattended that time. Tima, the heady veteran, three-time league defender of the year, taking him down without getting penalized. And Jambalaya right from the restart on the free kick fires one in. Pierce makes the save. Now Diego trying to run downfield, but St. Andre heads it away, and they're going to call delay a game. And I think Dwayne a good call because St. Andre, the goalkeeper, made no attempt to play it on the field. He put it out of bounds, and so the Wave will restart it from the top of the arc. This is a very dangerous situation for the defensive team.
St. Andre putting himself, as you just mentioned, dangerous situation, putting himself in he himself in a tough spot. Nothing gained by that. That's one of those plays, I'm sure, from a coaching standpoint, you wonder about. You want to talk to the goalkeeper about at some point as this day goes on, and you wonder see what happens off of here. You give up a goal here, and you wonder about your judgment.
All right, they try to work the set play, and as Chantret broke it up, he was headed upfield. He got knocked down. So New York doing a good job to defense the restart. Well, I'm sure Carlos Salguero, the player coach, is going to start to see his hair fill up with some gray hairs in the near future. Again, if you missed it earlier, Salguero was named the interim head coach of the New York Kick after last Friday's game. So he actually directed the Kick in their game last night against Chicago.
Kick has lost 4 straight. They've been outscored coming into this game in their last 4 games, 58-29. That's getting bombed and bombed heavy.
They are last in the league, both offensively and defensively. So I guess their 2-11 record, really no surprise.
Right.
They are only averaging 7.5, giving up 13.5. Milwaukee, conversely, second in the league offensively, scoring 13.5. Defensively, 7th at 12.2. Obviously, Coach Johan Aarnio would like to see that defensive figure go down. Foul called against New York, so the Wave will put it in play just outside the line. Falk over to Tima. Trying to work the exchange with Pastor. Keep it in as Ortiz goes for Falk. And St. Andre apparently pulling it down inside the box. That was pretty close. Of course, the goalkeeper cannot touch it with his hands outside the box. And now Chantret draws the foul as he got knocked down. 9:20 left to go in the first half. Let's take another look at that play. Oh, I'm sorry. Glancing at the scoreboard here.
Well, we can take another look at that.
We saw it over here, fans, and it did look like he was indeed outside the box.
That's the other thing, too, about the time when it picks up now, more activity, more games per week. I think you're going to see, especially with the Wave, I think you're going to see some of those defensive numbers get better. I think once you get into more game activity, instead of playing once or twice a week, you get up to that 3-4 times a week activity and game competition. I think you're going to see this team put some better numbers together on the defensive end.
And I think especially, Dwayne, because with Milwaukee, you've had a lot of players, a lot of turnover from last year's team, a lot of guys playing together for the first time. And so the more experience they get playing together, obviously, the better they're going to do. They've clicked pretty well offensively, but like you said, on the defensive end, I think that's where we'll really see the improvement. Tima's shot is deflected off the head of Carlos Salguero. So the Wave will come in off the corner. And Dean Kelly will do the honors for Milwaukee. Not a bad crowd here for a Monday afternoon contest at the Bradley Center, and they've seen a pretty exciting game so far. Bartro cut off on the play as they started back. Chris Charles loses it to Rogers as the Wave hustled back in transition. Bartro trying to go up for Pastor, gets it there. Now 2-1 with Rogers. Here's Pastor, far side for Kelly, and the pass a little too far. Kelly back for Pastor, and the shot turned away by St. Andre. Nice reaction by St. Andre as he was able to kick it away. Oh, the Wave that time actually with a 3-on-1, but they could not convert. Those are the kind of opportunities that sometimes come back to haunt you as Keith Falk drives it up into the stands, and it'll be a goal kick for New York. A tough break for the Wave right there. They had a 3-on-1 and could not get it, although credit St. Andre with a nice save on Pastor's attempt.
George Pastor won't miss often. That's the other thing. I mean, those opportunities, given the same opportunity at any point in this game, you're going to see George Pastor probably deliver a better pass, see a different result.
Frustrating, I'm sure, for George because he worked so hard to create the situation coming from midfield. George himself has spent some time with the U.S. national team, which of course is guided by Milwaukee native Bob Gansler. Ortiz tries the shot. It's knocked down by Maksoudi. Falk trying to keep it in, but they knock it out of there. Now Bartro, double team, loses it. They're coming in 2-on-none. Betcher and Shantred, and the shot and a goal. And nobody back to help out as Bartro was double teamed against the near boards. And once the kick was able to free it up, it was no problem putting it in the net. As you see Shantred score on the assist from Bill Betcher. So we're going to take a break. 7:25 left to go in the first half. It's New York 7, Milwaukee 4. You're watching Milwaukee Wave Soccer on Super 18.
America's finest sausage is more than a slogan at Usingers. It's been a family pledge for over 100 years. At Usingers, we use the freshest, choicest government-inspected beef and pork. We combine it with rare natural spices to make the perfect sausage. The national broadcast media calls Usingers brats the best food in the NBA. So the next time you're at the Bradley Center, don't forget to try our brats or Polish sausage. Producing a quality sausage that just plain tastes great has been a Usinger trademark since 1880. Usingers sausage, truly America's finest sausage.
Hi, I'm Johan Aarnio. As head coach of the Milwaukee Wave, I know the importance of getting my players mentally and physically prepared for a game. Sports Medicine Institute Warm Up with the Wave Clinic this Saturday will give you some excellent tips to help you play prepared. Join me and several players on the field before the game this Saturday, January 5th at 12 o'clock and warm up with the pros.
Join us at the Bradley Center January 5th at 12 noon. The clinic is sponsored by the Sports Medicine Institute, official team therapist for the Milwaukee Wave.
So the Wave now trailing it by 3 at 7-4 after the goal by Shantred, his third of the year from Bill Betcher. A 2-on-none break in the attacking zone, and Dwayne, only a super Herculean effort by Pierce could have saved that one. I don't know if there's any goalkeeper that could stop a 2-on-none in professional soccer.
No, Tony Pierce was at the mercy of who wanted to score it. Basically is what it came down to.
So Milwaukee really finding itself in a battle this afternoon with the New York kick. Only 2-11 coming in, but New York giving all the Wave they can handle right now. Banks trying to move in from the far point as Joey Kirk's pass was just a little bit behind him. And now the kick starts it back. Salguero's pass for Jeanbalai too far. Pierce steps out to clear downfield. Ortiz trying to knock it away from Medina, but Medina stays with it. Now Banks chases him down, trips him up, and we are going to have a penalty. Tony Medina taken down hard by Jimmy Banks. You see Jimmy looking rather wistfully at the official as Medina still down. Well, let's see it again. And I don't know, Dwayne, at least from this angle.
Well, Jimmy's sliding right under him and strictly at the ball. And
well, he did make a good play on the ball, but usually when you take somebody down that hard, they will call a penalty. Medina getting help to his feet, and it appears that he's going to be okay. So we will see our first shootout and power play of the afternoon after the penalty to Banks. It comes at 8:20 of the second period. First penalty against the Wave. Second penalty of the contest as Banks will go to the box for tripping. This will be a one-point shootout opportunity. Sandri Jeanbalai will take the shootout for New York. He is 2 for 4 in the category this year. Tony Pierce has faced 12 shootouts and has allowed 7 goals. Jeanbalai misses on the attempt. He tries to reload, but he won't have enough time. You only get 5 seconds to score. And so Pierce able to turn away the effort. Jeanbalai missing on the attempt.
Tony did a good job coming out to meet Jeanbalai and cross him up.
New York now will have the 2-minute power play advantage. And again, this is a one-point opportunity for the offense. The Wave, conversely, is playing for 2 if they score shorthanded. And Milwaukee leading the league with 5 shorthanded goals already. We were talking before the game, Dwayne, the Wave really hasn't done well penalty killing-wise. They're barely killing off half the penalties, but they've scored 5 shorthand goals. So I guess you'd have to say, as far as net points are concerned,
right,
they're doing very well.
They're doing very well.
Salguero got cut off that time by Rogers. Now Tima able to clear it out as it had gotten behind Pierce, and Jumbalai going to get called for the handball as he tried to knock it down at the line. So you've got Velasco, Tima, Kelly, and now it was Lee Rogers out there. Lee was trying to get off on a change with George Pastor out of the field. Now Lee has to go back out now. Salguero launching the shot, and he blasted into the stands. Salguero is out there with Bill Betcher, Ridgway, Jumbalai, and Marhan Maksudi. Goal kick coming for the Wave, 5:53 left to go in the half, and 1:14 on the New York power play. Tima in for Kelly. On the near side, Arturo Velasco. Back over to Kelly, who chips it back for Tima. Now Tima looking for Pastor. He's trying to post up against Maksudi. Ball is headed away into the scorer's area. The Wave doing a good job to kill some time so far on this. They have allowed 10 goals in 18 times shorthanded so far this year. That is last in the league as far as penalty killing is concerned. On the power play, New York 7th best in the league, 7 for 26. So they are clicking at 27%. Pastor working it with Kelly, and now Dean will back it up to try to kill some more time. New York leading by 3 at 7-4. Still in the first half, so plenty of time for the Wave to come back in this one. Tima in for Pastor, gets taken down by Maksudi, and the foul called. Now George will put it right in for Kelly. A shot over the crossbar. A quick restart by Pastor, and he freed up Kelly for the blast. And Dean just missing it. And now the ball chipped out of bounds on the far side, so New York will get it back. Milwaukee almost again turning on the light in the shorthanded situation.
Well, what a great boost it would be to this club, to the Wave, after what Tony Pierce did and stopping the penalty kick, and then to come back and score a shorthanded goal.
Maksudi tries to blast it just inside the line and got under it, so it goes into the stands. 13 seconds left, so it appears the Wave is going to kill off this penalty, and hopefully they'll be able to come back and get a goal of their own and start to recapture some of the momentum in this contest.
It's going to be one of the lower scoring halves for the Wave if it stands at 7-4 in the final 4:45 here of the half. But both clubs are going to say, you know, they both could have a lot more points than what they have going in at halftime.
Wave back at full strength as Banks is on the field. Jimmy keeping the pressure on as finally the ball is touched back to the keeper, Jim St. Andre. Yeah, I think you're right, Dwayne. Each team has had some great opportunities here. Some good goalkeeping has helped keep the score down, especially on St. Andre's part for the kick. Ball goes out of bounds on the near side. Each team is going to take the opportunity to change up here as Steve Konstantinovic stands over the ball. There you get a look at Neil Ridgway, the veteran, native of Great Britain, and the leading scorer on the kick. Zwickelbauer trying to run by Bartro, but Pierce able to come out and scoop it up. Tony, who's got a great arm, fires it down for Rogers. Now centering for Kurt coming down the middle. That one deflecting off Joey's hip. Good idea by Lee as he tried to free him up. Now Rogers getting it back. Rogers trying to center off the end board, knocked down by St. Andre, and Ridgway able to control for the kick. Now New York looking like a much more vibrant club today, Dwayne, than what I saw last Friday in Glens Falls. Bartro knocks it away. Could be a chance here for the Wave if they can move it upfield. Bartro got cut off by Chantret. Now Falk Back for Velasco. Arturo trying to move in. Couldn't get the opening he wanted, so they dish it back out. Now Bartro trying to go for Rogers at the top of the arc. It was broken up. And the ball cleared downfield. Again, New York not going to press it too much at this point. They've got the 3-point lead, and they're not going to open themselves up for a counterattack. Here's Ortiz. Moving it up for Kirk on the lead. Shot the goal! And they worked it to perfection that time. As Milwaukee's back within one, it's 7-6.
I was just going to mention that the kick probably has been playing as well as they have, inspired by that of their goalkeeper, Jim St. Andre. And no more was going to get that out of my mouth when the ball goes blistering high up into the right-hand corner of the goal for the Milwaukee Wave. Give you a look at the goal. Here it is.
And that's the way they draw it up on the chalkboard, Dwayne. Joey Kirk, who is considered to be a target man, tries to post up in that area. If they get him the ball, he can either turn or shoot or leave it for somebody running by. And in that case, Ortiz, who is a natural left footer, he had it on the left foot that time, and he rammed it past St. Andre. So it's 7-6 New York as we come down to the 2:45 mark. By the way, that was Ortiz's second goal of the afternoon. He's got 8 on the season now. And Joey Kirk getting the assist.
That was a pretty play to look at in slow motion, wasn't it?
It sure was. Here's Diego trying to move it up for Kelly. Got cut off on the play. Now New York starting it back, but Surrey with some nice hustle to take it from Jambalaya. New York would have had a 3-2 coming back. There's the man Ortiz, who just scored moments ago. Now Kelly, Pastor. George is going to take the shot. Save! St. Andre as he came out to cut the angle and made the save. St. Andre, another big save for the kick. And Banks doing a good job to cut off Sandre Jambalaya, enabling Pierce to scoop it up. One thing about Jimmy, he's rarely caught out of position. Almost always in the right place at the right time. And that's one of the reasons why he's a member of the U.S. national team. Banks and Falk working it around. Now Ortiz tried to push one in for Pastor. Chris Charles knocked it down. Jambalaya going back for Charles. Charles and Ortiz scrapping for it, and Rene able to come away, but getting trapped down in the corner. Now trying to clear for Pierce. It was blocked out of there. Shotret went off the play by Falk, and Falk gets hammered down. They're going to call it obstruction. Shotret, I think, was telling the official he was grabbed on the play, but you certainly couldn't argue about the final call. Here's Pastor, and the shot is blocked as Ridgway got back to make the play. Good hustle by Neil Ridgway as Pastor looked like he was going to get a clear shot to fire on St. Andre. And Ridgway back there to make this play. Falk looking for Rogers on the cross. Was just a little bit behind him. Lee stays with it. However, they clear it out of the zone. Shotred trying to run by Tima, but Tima running him off the play. And now Tony Pierce coming out of the nets to clear it out. But it's going to be a foul against Tima pushing off. As you see Timmy give Shotred a little push from behind on the foul call. Now they work it in the zone. It's a very dangerous play. He was able to do it. All right, here's Rogers. Centering, he was looking for Pastor, knocked out of there. Bartro trying to keep it in, but Betcher knocks it down. Keith still dribbling with it, but he loses it here. Now Tony's going to take a timeout. 10 pondering what kind of strategy he wants to come up with in this situation. Johan, of course, in his first year with Milwaukee, was a longtime assistant with the San Diego Sockers of the Major Soccer League. Spent a total of 8 seasons with San Diego. 6 league championships. That's a pretty successful organization.
Tell you that here with new faces on the club, but that is you let the game, if you take what the game gives you, and that's what he's been able to get the players to understand, is not to force stuff, control, look for your opportunities, and, you know, don't go there with no purpose. Be looking for opportunities, take advantage of what the other team is going to give you, and then everybody go out there with the attitude that you're also a scorer. And now you're just out there to do one particular, out there to do other things. And you see that we talked about with Velasco, in addition of guys, Jimmy Banks, other things, Bartro. Everybody can do something, and if everybody thinks in terms of going out that I'm a scorer also, it just puts that much more pressure on the opposition. That maybe is what the Wave has been able to do more the other part of their game, and that's what Johan Aarnio has been so, is that everybody has grasp of the system, and they've been able.
All right, they put it back in play. 5 seconds left. Now Pierce trying to throw downfield. They are not going to be able to get a shot off, and the horn sounds. That'll do it for the first half. So an exciting 30 minutes as they go to lock time. It's the New York Kick on top as they the way score 6. And so we'll take our break now for halftime. Once again, you're watching Milwaukee Wave Soccer on Super 18.
Dad, did they have Raisin Bran when you were a kid? You know, in the olden days.
Well, we had Raisin Bran.
How come?
Well, it's got more vitamins for big guys like you and old guys like me.
The most nutritious Raisin Bran is Total Raisin Bran, with 100% of 9 essential vitamins.
Dad, how'd you get Dad?
Raisin Bran. Do the best you can with Total Raisin Bran.
And when you think of a strong, serving over 5 million customers here and across the country.
Trim, the weight loss plan from the makers of Intro. Bland for a delicious shake. Longer, a creamy mousse. Or freeze it. Frozen treat. Come lose yourself in the taste.
Delicious. Shake it, freeze it, creamy mousse it. You've never been so thin. Introducing Trim. Lose yourself in the taste.
Hi, Paul.
Hey.
Got good news. Next week, imagine 3 companies want to hire you.
The IT Technical Institute not only help you career, but help you find a career.
Hard part.
What's that?
You got to choose one.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for this informative brochure. That's 1-800-942-8888.
It sure doesn't seem like that long ago. Johan Aarnio was being introduced as the head coach of the Milwaukee Wave. 90 has seemed to once again go by very, very quickly. I'm sure you, like many others, have sat back in recent days and weeks, especially over this holiday period, and wondered just where 1990 went to. Well, personally, they've done that also. A chance to ask Sam what was special or what they remember most about 19.
So that makes me pretty happy. Look forward to getting married in 91, possibly 92.
Looking forward to in 1991 is working some more with the MAC Fund and Larry Sales, and hopefully a champion to Milwaukee.
I'd like to wish happy years back home. I know they'll be watching satellite, and to everyone here in Milwaukee this coming year.
For me, the year of 1990 was very rewarding because mainly I got traded from Indiana to Milwaukee, which is a way better big-time organization. The players are a lot better, the atmosphere is a lot better.
A nice girl, and you know, she's
me out. I'm in at 10 o'clock now this year. I mean, people can't believe that. I give a lot of credit to her.
In the summer, I went to Salt Lake City and played with my good buddy, Young Tran. That was a lot of fun. It's a nice city, kind of like Milwaukee, a big, small city.
I feel like we found the right kind of coach office and to put a winning record on the field.
I like to see us having really reached objectives that we work towards, and having done something special here in Milwaukee, because the lads put their best foot forward, and because we all, as a franchise, tried to excel.
He has to go to Johan. He sets a mile in practice. He can't avoid me, and we got up with new guys, and so I kind of back a little. I'm the oldest guy in the team, so I got to look mature.
Our coverage of Milwaukee Waves soccer will continue right after this on Super 18.
I'm on the move with my anchor. I love the getting where I want to go, taking a cruise or shopping downtown, visiting friends. I'm really getting around. We're a great team, yeah, me and my able. Now we're on the move.
You know, Ron has been saying how in sturdy Lakeland truck caps are. Ron says the buyers truck caps know all this is true, but the one thing people
now Lakeland truck caps.
Built like me, Pete Vukovich, tough as nails and darn pretty to look at.
Everyone used to say a pretty face I'd lose a rest of until I went on the weight program. I challenge
lost next half off special.
the true I choose.
The fall is an important consumer announcement for those interested in a free cash grant from the government for starting a new business, home improvements, education, job training. For these free grants, ranging from 50 to 300, are awarded to women or the in poor financial conditions. Current legislation may now free government.
Call 9-444-2211. That's 619-444-2211.
Back at the Bradley Center, halftime of today's game between the Wave and the New York Kick. Right now, New York leading the Wave by the score of 6-6. My guest here, halftime Waves marketing director to the NPSL, Peters. Jim, for stopping us here. Briefly, while we teams, of course, one of 3 first-year franchises, along with Detroit and Illinois. What feeling?
The last 4 of the league, and right now we're right on plan. We're exactly where we wanted to be. The 3 new teams, I think 2 of them learning how difficult this really is right now. I think really what a great operation they put together. They started in a year and a half doing, and we want that kind of approach. If we do, we'll be and it'll go along very nicely.
You know, a lot of people thought that you're would one than we have the 8-year league, that perhaps the talent might be somewhat more diluted than it had been, but actually we found the opposite to be true. When you talk about guys who have come over from the league, some of the new, actually it seems like talent has been history.
I think that where it's the most talented team players coming over in our league. Right, Kirk in the paper, he's reasonably astounded about by the level of play, and that surprised by the difference in play, and the fact that this is a faster game, a harder game, much more aggressive game than what they encounter in the MSL. I like that.
As far as looking to the future, 9 number, I guess, in terms of the number of teams. Are there any future expansion for the year?
We're talking 6 cities now. Whether I decide to come into the league or not will be determined by 2 of them looking at a series of great additions. would be great additions for Milwaukee because they'd be great rivalries.
Okay. Well, Jim, again, we appreciate you stopping by. Continue